right, welcome back to another episode of the Food Explorer podcast. My name is Bill Collins, the Food Explorer. I am here with one of my favorite guests. I can't wait to introduce him, but before I do, make sure you like this podcast, share it with all your friends on all your social media platforms. Hit a like, hit a share, leave a nice comment about the podcast, and please share it for your chance to win an awesome tin of Trey Olive olive oil, which we'll have for pickup right here at the studio. So make sure you like and share. And now, without further ado, I have to introduce to you one of my closest friends, one of the most handsome gentlemen I know, my travel buddy, my ski buddy, the guy who makes me want to ski faster and probably get hurt, Jeremiah Mika, owner of Notch 8 Bar or Notch 8 Steakhouse, which is the newest concept, The Deck, the Union Station, and the Roosevelt Room. I mean, this guy has it all going on over there, and it is a behemoth that I am amazed every day that you're able to pull off because it's 30,000 square feet of fun.
It's not easy. And you did forget the Tunnel Bar.
That's right. I'm so sorry.
The world famous Tunnel Bar. So everybody knows that.
The most important. Well, they do because I see it on social media all the time. Like the top 10 bars you have to visit before you die. I mean, you own that.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's
absolutely crazy. It's so much fun. And the Tunnel Bar is awesome because I can be anywhere in the world and somebody will recognize the Tunnel Bar name.
Yeah, well, it's because anytime I'm anywhere in the world with you, you're slapping a sticker everywhere you go.
That's really because of you. Because I'm pretty sure your stickers are already there before I start slapping mine down.
But the problem is your stickers are starting to go over mine.
I love it.
I'm like in a random airport, and I'm like, that bastard got here first. That's awesome, man. No, it's always a pleasure, and it's one of those things where it's just easy when I talk with you on something like this. It's the best.
It's a lot of fun, and that's why every time we go on a trip, we just sit there for 3 hours of driving, and I don't think there's a moment of silence.
No.
We're just like, let's go, let's do this, talk about business, life, family, all that stuff.
I'm glad you just
great.
touched on that because I got to tell you, like, while we're talking business, like on our last trip, we were just away with the families right after Easter, and it was an epic trip filled with sun, water, adventure, and we were dadding it hard, doing scavenger hunts.
It's not easy.
Having fun with the kids.
Not easy.
It's not. It's not as easy as we make it look.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
There was one moment on that trip where we had broken away. I don't know. We were probably going to the grocery store for the 15th time to, feed this gigantic group at the house. And we were talking business, and it was so cool for me. I remember this moment because I'm driving in the car, and just the way that you were talking about your business and what you're doing and the moves you're making, I zoomed back to like when you were working as a bartender and I was working as a server, and then you're telling me that you're buying the Tunnel Bar, and all of a sudden I'm driving in a car with you on vacation like 15 years later or whatever, and here's this like dynamic restaurateur that's like so smart, and to see the transition, not the transition, you were always smart, but to see the growth.
Oh, for sure.
For me as your friend was just so cool because I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, that guy, that's my friend.
Yeah.
He's pretty freaking smart, man. It's awesome.
Well, it's such a wild ride because I was never a general manager.
Yeah.
So I was a bartender, bar manager, and then the next thing I know,
to owner.
Well, I went to school, and I was marketing major, all this stuff, and then I decided, you have entrepreneurs who come into these classes, and they're like, hey, I'm on my first marriage still, not divorced, I work my butt off, but I get all the money. And then you get these corporate guys that come in, and they're like, I'm on my third divorce, I work all this time. And I remember a story of the guy who invented the little hand pumps that were in the Spalding basketballs.
Oh, yeah.
So he developed this.
Yeah.
Spalding made hundreds of millions of dollars. What did he get? Like a $10,000 bonus.
Oh, my God.
And I'm thinking in my head, like, forget that. And then the building came up for sale. So I just went to Jess, and I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and try to buy this. And I'm going to go until somebody else buys it or I own it. And 2 years later, there I was, an owner. And you're like, well, now what?
Yeah.
I don't know about insurance. I don't know about management really on that level, that scale. And we went from, $1 million business the first year, and now we're we're just climbing and climbing and climbing. And now I'm adding the catering and drop offs and that kind of stuff. So
I'm proud of you, man.
yeah, it's wild.
It's
11 years later.
You know,
happened.
it's funny because we really then started the same time because it's my
It was.
11th year as well. And so
Yeah, were you 13 or 14?
14.
Yeah, beginning of 14.
Yeah.
I was the end of 13. So
one upper.
no, it's either way.
No, you know, I just see the transition though of that whole building. Like, you know, it doesn't hurt that you're like one of the handiest guys I know too. Like Notch 8, dude. If you, by the way, to the listeners, if you have not been to Notch 8 Steakhouse, Notch 8 is like a whole nother level. Like
For sure.
you walk in there, the place is designed so cool. And I was going up there and, you know, just seeing what you were doing. And I walk in and I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Like it
Yeah.
used to be the Platform Sports Bar and you took it to this whole nother level, man. Like, and ratcheted it up to like a steakhouse you would feel comfortable walking into if you were in New York City almost. Like it's that
100%.
nice. Yeah.
And we're really catering to that group of people. You can come in a t-shirt and shorts and like,
Absolutely.
it's no big deal. But if you want to get dressed up and go have a nice dinner with another couple and your wife and sit for 3 hours, that's the spot.
Yeah, and you're not going to feel out of place on
At all.
either way, you know,
Right.
and that's the chameleon you kind of need to be. You need to be able to create that environment where, like, you know, the local guy who is working a long day can just go in there in his work clothes, or the date night people can come in, and
1000%.
you've succeeded by doing that.
Yeah.
And then you like, you know, top it off with being able to retire down to the Tunnel Bar for an after dinner drink.
1000%. Yeah.
Make
and
sure
that's
you
really,
get an Uber.
And that was the goal, you know, when we looked at Notch 8 and looked at that space, it was like, okay, we had a sports bar, which was a cash grab in the beginning. We had to turn dollars and without a huge investment. And so it was sports bar turned into kind of a nightclub, which if anybody's thinking about doing a nightclub,
Been there,
just
done that,
don't
dude.
do it.
Yeah.
And so COVID killed that, which we were going to do a change anyway. And so then it's like, what direction to go? And doing 100 weddings a year and having the Tunnel Bar and all of that. We're like, let's do something upscale that we can do our rehearsal dinners. And now, like, you know, it's not every weekend, but probably twice a month where somebody comes for the rehearsal dinner. Then they have their wedding in the Roosevelt Room, and then they do a send-off brunch the next day with us.
I love it.
And they're all in different locations, different feelings of the building, and we're sitting there just mopping up cash.
Yeah.
You know, like that was the whole point. You know,
No,
so it's great.
and that it's like a whole ecosystem of like how you do your whole wedding weekend. You know, it's like
Exactly.
you hit it on every level, and
Yep.
and that's the way to make money, to pay for the investment. Listen, you know, there are many people out there that go to restaurants and they're like, that guy is like the richest guy in the world. The amount of
Don't
money
you
it
love
takes to first buy a 30,000 square foot building,
Yeah.
do any sorts of renovating.
Oh, yeah.
Now think about updating sprinkler systems and HVAC systems.
Nobody knows.
Bro, everybody probably looks at you in your friend group like wealthiest guy I know, Jeremiah Mika.
Yeah.
But the amount of investment that you make, the amount of risk you take in order to make a living
Yeah.
is next level. Like you put it all on the line.
And it
for
goes
this.
to every entrepreneur.
Yeah,
You know, most people aren't entrepreneurs because they can't stomach it.
sure.
To really actually go and empty your bank account, max out your credit card on a thought,
Yeah.
like go find me people who are willing to do that, you know,
Bro.
and it's only entrepreneurs, and then do it twice.
Yeah.
Have all the money saved up, you get through COVID, all of that, and then I just like double down on myself.
Well,
I just start
that's the
laughing, like,
last conversation we had because
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'm praying that this concept works
Oh, it's
because
crazy.
if it didn't,
you lose
we'd
it
be
all.
skiing less together.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
you
and,
lose it
and-
all.
And you lose it all, and
Yeah.
you've worked so hard to be where
Yeah.
you're at. So I was scared for you, but I knew the first night that I walked in there for the soft open, and this beautiful 3-pound tomahawk got delivered to my table, and I
Yeah.
had the pork belly and the crab cakes and beautiful bottle
Yeah.
of wine. I was like, this is
Yeah.
gonna work.
The only problem was it was lukewarm because I needed about triple the heat lamps.
Hey,
But
listen.
that's why it's called soft opening.
A lukewarm tomahawk is better than no tomahawk
That's
at
so
all, dude.
funny.
I was
It's so
not mad
funny.
at it at all.
Yeah.
And but that's for my soft opening, it was the same exact thing.
Yeah.
When my opening chef at CSG, because I was in the front, right? And I spent the night on Expo for my soft opening. And here we are. I run through, all right, chef, we good here, we good here, we good here. Yep. And then game time happens. Reservations start coming at 4 o'clock. And I see this guy's making gorgonzola sauce to order to go on top of the steak. I'm like, dude, we're running 55-minute tickets here. We're making gorgonzola sauce to order? What? Like, that's supposed to be a ladle, finish it off, send it, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it gave me the whole cheat sheet of what I needed to do differently the next day. We stayed up till probably 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. The next day we opened up and it was seamless.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you do the
great.
soft open.
Yeah.
And you're charging people less that day to
For sure.
to say,
For
please
sure.
don't write that nasty Yelp review for your experience.
Yeah, we were
tonight.
closed for a couple of days because it was like I had overnight heat lamps to get the electrician. I was just like, but that's, we went from a sports bar with burgers and fries to sides and steaks, and it was a whole different animal. But
so we've been fortunate enough to do so much together, and one great dining experience that we've had together was when we went down to Present Company in Tariffville. It was a mandate. We didn't even bring the wives that night. They were, I think, on a girls' weekend or something, and we had one.
Are we allowed to talk about this?
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's fine. Yeah. Listen, we don't want to bore everybody with all the nuts and bolts of business. We want to talk about fun too, man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So we went down. We had an awesome dinner. Tell me, what's like on your list of places to go in our area or even outside of our area for your next like killer dinner? Like where are you looking to go?
Well, it's so funny because I am by nature somebody who needs to experience new things.
Yeah.
So I'm not a guy that just keeps going back to the same place. It's like, somebody would ask me, what's your favorite restaurant? Like, it's hard for me to name that.
Sure.
Because I'm always looking for a new place and some new experience. And,
but we hope none of your customers are.
right. Yeah, exactly.
You should all not look for any other place to go.
Yeah, true. But when you're traveling and you're doing things, that's like that's for me, like the big piece to it.
Yeah.
So, I've traveled so much, and really my next big place is South America. I haven't been to South America really on like any kind of scale or level.
Yeah.
So that's really what I want to do is like I get to a place and then just experience. You find that little mom and pop's place that's off. I was over in Greece on this motorcycle trip. One of the luckiest things in my life was to be able to travel over there. And we're in the mountain region of Crete. And you stop at this little place, and this guy's 70 years old, and he's making you a homemade cup of coffee and a Danish, and you're just like, that's the magic for me. Yeah. Even if it's not that great, it doesn't matter.
No, it's the ambiance, it's him, it's the view.
We're one of 7 customers for the day. Nobody comes through this town. Like that's what I love. Is like those little like. Yeah. Nooks and crannies, You get into the big time steakhouses, and I love some of the great places, especially Las Vegas food scene. I love going out there to just dine and not have to go and gamble and do all the partying, but you can have a great time out there, and they do attract so much great food. But I'd like the mountain view and sit at those places. So that's kind of how I attack it.
I couldn't agree more. And for anybody that doesn't really know you, you are in competition when that beard grays up a little bit to be one of the world's most interesting men. Like honestly, dude, like this guy is in this motorcycle club, and it's not like he's not wearing a cut and going to be next in that show where they're like extorting people for money. He's doing like adventure motorcycling through Greece and Africa. I mean,
it's wild.
Dude, you're a wild man. And so to hear you say that South America is next on your list, I can't wait to see the pictures, hear the stories. I don't think I'll be in the sidecar with you unless they make a sidecar for these sport motorcycles.
Yeah, no, it's a cool experience. It was something that I got into, I think it's 3 years now. And I've always been a motorcycle rider. Me and my father rode cross country the first time I was 17 years old.
That's awesome.
So, 7,000 miles, and it was just something that you have, and then it really fades away with family and business, and all of that has to go to the sideline because you're raising its own child, which is your business. And when I was able to get back into this, my wife was okay with it. That was a big change for me. But it is so cool to jump on a bike and ride dirt roads and stay in weird places, little villages. You might get stuck overnight just in the middle of the woods. They're all animals. So
it's incredible,
really
man.
Cool.
I'm slightly jealous of the adventurous spirit you have
It
because
can be scary.
I feel pretty adventurous in life.
Are.
But
Yep.
part of me is kind of like, dude,
Yeah, it's
I'm
wild.
a pretty good meal for a lion in the middle of Africa, dude.
Yeah, that was my last trip was in Africa for anybody listening, and we had some close encounters.
Might
with,
feed a family of 4.
Yeah, it was an eye-opening experience, but also absolutely breathtaking, and it was so freaking cool. But we've done some of our own adventures. I mean, we're
certainly
spearing
have.
for lobsters and a lot of wild things. And going back to this story, so we're down at Present Company. We did have a limo.
Yeah, we did.
We both barely remember how we got home.
I was trying to leave that part out. Well, that's why we had a limo, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's those adventures. We laugh so hard and we have so much fun. Like it just makes it worth it.
But
it's so cool.
in our industry, when you're so on demand all the time, and
Yep.
and there is, especially in weddings in your business, there's an expectation of perfection. It's not like dinner can be 40 minutes late. It's not like dinner can be 15 minutes late. It's
Right.
got to be, you got to live to the schedule. So
Yep.
it's a really high demand, and what your brain goes through in order to achieve these events for these other people.
Yeah.
You also need that decompression time. So I look so forward to those experiences with you because it's also, you're a different breed. Like when you cash out for the night and you decide you're going to go do something with Bill Collins, I at least am going to understand what you went through. Right.
Yeah. And that was what makes this whole relationship amazing because we have kids at the same age.
Yeah.
Our wives were best friends since high school.
It's awesome.
We run basically same kind of level, restaurants and that kind of stuff. So when we talk about number of employees or what we're paying for insurance,
it's like
or
having a
whatever
set
it
of cliff
is.
notes for both of us. I'm
Yeah.
like, so what do you do? Who are you using?
Yeah, which
What's
is
the quote?
awesome.
Yeah, no,
and to have somebody to bounce that off of when you first start and you don't have that, like,
yeah,
you're just flying blinds.
absolutely.
In a fog storm, like it's crazy.
Absolutely.
And so when you can find that connection, and then when we go let loose and go ski for the day, and Bill tried to kill me. I don't want to
Listen.
Still can't turn my head any more than this.
Here's the issue. The
Just
next
saying.
time, just try to be fast enough to be in the front. No, it's not often that I am faster than you on a slope because
It's
you are
fun.
one of the most death-defying stuntmen.
You're
in
not
addition to
far
all the
behind.
other stuff.
Yeah.
But you're ripping.
Oh, yeah, we were flying.
Keeping up with you sometimes is tough. I have video on my phone where I'm like trying to ski behind you to get video of you, and it's like, I'm like, can this guy just slow down a drop so I can keep you in the frame?
Yeah.
It's
awesome.
some of the best times though. But I would say for me, probably the best ski trip of my life this year was my wife's birthday when we skied out west at Big Sky, Montana. That was like life changing for me.
And it's such a treat whenever you get to go to those big resorts and see all that stuff and how they operate, and even some of the restaurants and how they're doing things. I mean, it's all, and we're always on when it comes to that. I am.
Oh, definitely.
No matter what place I walk into.
Yeah.
If I'm going to a wedding, it's not enjoyable. Not until dinner service is over. Because I am just notes and checking on things.
I got a light
I know the
switch.
food. Yeah.
I click it right off. I'm like, what will be, what will be.
Yeah.
I'm here to have fun, and that's all
Yeah.
good, dude. I could care less.
Yeah, that's so funny.
But I will tell you, I think it was Everett's 7700 or
that was-
Everett's 8800. That view up there with an espresso martini. If you're
Yeah.
going to Big Sky, Montana, and you're going
Yeah.
with your buddies, and you need a midday après,
Yeah.
stop there. That espresso martini. Speaking of a midday après,
Ooh,
I've
here
got
we go.
to just crack and cheers you on all of your success.
Thanks, buddy.
And I know in the cliff notes here, but also knowing you, I know that you do like a good bourbon.
Oh,
so
yeah.
This is a beautiful Weller by Buffalo Trace. I got a couple of round rocks over here to give my buddy
I love
a
it.
raise of the glass and congratulate you on all of your successes
Well, I appreciate that, buddy.
over the past
Cheers.
11 years and hopefully for many more years to come.
It's crazy.
Oh, that doesn't suck.
So good.
Oh, that is awesome.
So
So-
smooth.
I got to tell you, Jeremiah, you are like one of the best people to have on for me, just because it is so natural and fun. And if you liked this podcast, please share it. Please tell your friends about it. Please leave a nice comment. And again, you'll be put into a contest to win that beautiful olive oil from Trey Olive. And as we wrap up here, I got to just say thanks to the viewers and the listeners. Thanks to Jeremiah for making the time to come down here. And
Cheers.
buddy, until our next adventure, can't wait. Cheers.
Many more.